Welcome
Been
to
showing off a bit, haven't you,
Superman
son?
Mysteries, Part 7. Now notice here that Superman, as he walks towards his father, you will see what's shown happen to be 3 green individual strips. The math is coded and the math is shown. You see on each side of the field that you see that is scorched by the sun. But you'll see that in the path, you'll see green strips. One in the left, one in the middle, one in the right. Let me show you. Alright. One on the left. One right here. One up this strip. And one right here on the 3. Now let's get back to the movie.
I didn't mean to show off, Pa.
Remember I told you about the Pentagon, how his father came from the Pentagon. Because it's dual talk, it's double talk. And remember the correlation and connection to Superman when he was a baby, that his father was connected to a higher echelon. And it so happened that his father come from doing the work on the side of that, as you can see, is the Pentagon. Let's carry on.
It's just that guys like that Brad, I just want to tear him apart.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know I shouldn't.
I know.
You'll notice that also that the 2 connected to the 3. The father and son came together to walk up, as I showed you, the 3 individual strip lines. 23.
Do all these amazing things, and sometimes you think that you will just go bust unless you can tell people about it, huh?
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, every time I get the football, I can make a touchdown.
That's for sure.
Every time.
Yeah.
I mean, is it showing off and somebody's doing the things he's capable of doing?
Now
Is
watch
it
this
a
man
bird
show.
showing off when it flies?
No. No, now you listen to me. When you first came to us,
When he said when you first came to us, and then on the back right hand corner, it shows the Pentagon again on the back right hand corner. You see, his father's encoding that thumb again, but however, it's not of the left, but it's on the right.
that people would come and take you away because when they found out, the things you could do, and that worried us a lot. But then a man gets older and he thinks very differently and things get very clear. And there's one thing I do know, son, and that is you are here for a reason. I don't know whose reason, whatever the reason is.
Now, the code word is, I don't know whose reason, or whatever reason it is. Now, who is the reason? Because who is the code name. Because who in itself is a name.
Maybe it's because, I don't know. But I do know one thing. It's not to score touchdowns. Huh?
See that background? You see in the background, you see what's showing. As he says that he didn't know, right? But he said, it's not to score a touchdown. But then in the back, you will see, on the left, you see the eye was formed in the field next to Clark Kent. Right here, you'll see that Superman father say, you are here for a reason, right? And then on the shoulder of the father, you will see the form of a pyramid shaped on the back, where the Pentagon that he came from is shown in the back right hand corner.
I don't know whose reason, whatever the reason is. Maybe it's because,
Now watch what he do.
I don't know.
he formed. Then he put his hand on his hip, and then he formed a pyramid, a triangle, whatnot, on his hip by placing his arm on his side, and then in the back, it's identifying with that. Now you say, I don't know whose reason, but we know who is the name in itself of the God, a who God. And notice next to Clark Kent in the field, you will see in the green, it's a slit. It's the eye and a slit. When he said it, it formed the green eye, like a serpent with a slit. And the Father showing the pyramid. And in the back, you see the pyramid.
But I do know one thing.
There we go again.
It's not.
Now it's more clear. On the left of Clark is the green eye with the slit. And in the back, by the Father head, is the pyramid. And then next to it, which is the, as I showed you, the Pentagon. These three things shown here next to the two, the Father and the Son.
Score touchdowns.
Now, when he talking to him about, he said, yeah, when I get a football, I just, I can kick it. But that's double talk. It's not talking about the actual football. It's talking about what he can do. Because we know that that ball represent that which is connected to. It's talking about the phallus. And this is why the Father said, I know you got this ability and you want to show it, you want to glow it. And Clark is like, yeah, just like a bird can fly. But the Father coded and said that you're here for a reason, and he wanted to roll it off his tongue. But he kept quiet. But he's showing the signs and the symbols, and these symbols and these signs are being shown in the background. By the head, he represents the car, Clark Kent. That's behind his head. On the left, the eye, the slit, in the green. And behind the Father, you'll see, as I told you, the pyramid and the Pentagon. Let's move on.
Thanks, Dad. I'm ready to do it.
Again here.
Yeah.
You will.
Come on. Come on, Pop. Right. Come on. Move. Yeah. Go. Come on, right. Hey, Barry.
Here goes the left hand again. You see him showing the left hand, the thumb on the left as his son went in the barn. You'll notice that the dog is always shown in important movies, just like E.T. In E.T., it showed the dog when Elliot was going up the spaceship. This is important because they have their correlations. E.T. went up the spaceship, the extraterrestrial. The dog followed behind E.T. and then walked up to E.T. was in his spaceship and stood right next to Elliot because the dog spelled backwards represent God. The dog is with Clark Kent because Clark Kent is really not a D-O-G but a G-O-D. And the Father encoding the clutching of the path of being godlike with the dog identified with the bark and the dog identifying dog spelled backwards is God.
Oh, no.
The horses showed right when the Father passed away. When the Father laid out and died, you see the formation of the four windows. Therefore, it's also identified for sacrifice. My interpretation. And then we see the horse, because the horse is facing in the direction where Clark Kent is, because the word hero represents Heru, H-U-R. I'm sorry, H-E-R-U, Heru, better known as horse. A lot of people say the word heroes, but it's code for Heru. Before I begin, I want to share this with you.
time travel was achieved by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Actually, 8 modalities of time travel were fully developed by 1970.
Jonathan! Now look. She hollered, Jonathan. Now, why is it so apparent that Superman Clark Kent goes in the barn just to play with the dog when he could have stayed outside to play with the dog when he was calling the dog? But all this is saying something. When he went in the barn represents like a cubicle, a cube, a prison, an incarceration in a sense. This is when I would suggest, or for my interpretation, is where he got tuned in to himself a little more and understanding that it's futuristic talking, being in the dark. And outside is the light, but the light and the dark come together, which forms the dog. Remember, what makes God God? Allegedly and supposedly that God is not God without evil to identify that good is good. Evil help good to be good. So if there is no evil, what is the identification factor that makes good good? So then he steps out into what? You see, it was important that they had to show that. They could have just showed Clark Kent when he was calling the dog. Come on, and he could have stopped and got on his knees. But why in script him running in the barn just to play with the dog? You see, all this means something. This part is important. You see what looks like a pyramid light by his bed. Now he was woken up in the night. And what you see is the crossroad again. The cross represent the portal. But you hear something calling him in the night. You see, this is why he was in the barn. Now, the dog just barked 3 times, then 2 times. Then, how many times soon afterwards? See, all this has an effect subliminal. Just like the movie that they showed a while back of the man, everything that he wrote down was dealing with 23. But that message. Here we go. Now, this is important here. What's important is what you about to see reveals what I was telling you about regarding the phallus. Look how it's pointing. He's leaning over and it's likened to the phallus. You will have to zoom in a lot better than me using what I have now. But that's the phallus inside of the vajayjay, and it's angled in a circle right by his waist. And he looking down. You know how you see a little kid who have his wee-wee, his penis, and he looks down on it. Remember, The green in the grass and the black slit representing that serpent eye. You see, he's looking down because this is what it represents in a futuristic, metaphysical sense, on a high level sense. Listen, watch. That is the phallus inside of the vajayjay. He waking up in the night for that night work, calling him to the barn, to what you see on his shirt just formed a pyramid. That white right next to the circle there, it's a pyramid on the middle of his shirt. Remember when his father held that up? When his father was on Krypton, Krypton, his father said he would not be alone, and he held up the crystal the same way Superman just held up the crystal, because the crystal is representing the third eye, but the crystal and the penis are one and the same, because the 33rd vertebrae goes up to the third eye, and from the 33rd at the top part of your pineal, count 33rd going down level, which would be 33rd at the penis, which would be at the phallus, 33rd as above, so below. And the penis represent the pen. And he holds that glowing glow, that green energy. Green is synonymous to the sun, because everything dealing with vegetation is dealing with the sun. You see the sunlight beaming down. Notice the window. It's a 1 in the middle. Because outside it is Superman, you'll find out. Now what I find interesting about this is that the mother's looking outside the window at her son. And the sun rises in the east. The rooster don't crow till the rooster is aware or sense that the sun is rising. Superman is already out in the field. The mother's next to the one. And it's showing this black one that represents the energy of one who's melanated. Notice how the mother throw the symbol. And it's a Masonic symbol. Some say that W like, which represents the M for 13. From what these YouTube channels be showing, because I don't know that much about that type of information, but other than what the channels show, a little book knowledge, but you will see this symbolism is being shown, and why. Now, why would the mother in the morning time walk in the kitchen with an apron on and haven't already started cooking? Listen, watch. The dog running out there to him. You see, there it go again. The dog running to Superman, the mother looking. The dog represents God. See the box of the Cheerios. Cheerios is a circle, it's a cipher. There it go. There it go again. Look at her hand gesture. See, all that means something. She's looking out the window in the direction to where this Superboy man is, because he represents the 13th son. And she showed the 13 again. And then she has to walk out there to him. You see? with the apron on. That's cold talk too.
I have to leave.
Told his mother that he was going up north. Now the directions in which the Pharaoh is positioned is in the same direction to many. And we understand that when a person say, man, I'm going up north, that means that this person is going up north to either see family members. I'm going up north. They about to send me up north. That means to do some time. Superman, you will notice, is going through snow. He's walking through snow. He's going up north. To me, as you watch, you will see the depiction of ice and sails, and these sails forming together. That he was, in a sense, on a higher metaphysical sense, is speaking about that which is to come. And later on, I will show you that we have time traveling technology. That a lot of the information that's encoded in this movie was placed there strategically for a reason. Let's carry on. Now you see, think about it. Superman, for one, he had a crystal. He couldn't hide his crystal in a place called a barn. His parents hid it there. But understanding what that barn represents is going back to the same location that he found it. Remember, the crystal, the green crystal, was inside of a circle. That cipher, the middle point, was pointed towards the lower region I explained to you at the phallus area. Now, Superman is walking, if he didn't fly there, to the north, as he told his mother where he's going up north. And to me, this means being incarcerated, being confined, the harsh, cold conditions. Think about it. Remember, Superman always used to carry his Superman clothing under his attire. But he's carrying his backpack. He's carrying his pack. Why would Superman need to carry a backpack when it shows in past movies that Superman had his Superman uniform under his clothes? Because he moved so fast, he was able to pull that off of him. So, he's carrying his pack. He's carrying his bag. He's up north. Now, this up north in this cell represents something. Listen. Look. Watch what he do. Watch his form. We're going to stop here. You'll see there's a pyramid, two pyramids that we just formed on the left-hand side of Superman, and then on the left-hand side of his knee. Why would they place so much symbolism and symbology regarding such a heroic type of movies? Because it deepens signs and who Superman really is. And then carrying his pack is a little bit more because he represents. Remember I told you how the pharaohs is positioned? They're positioned in an angle in the chamber of the pyramid for ascension. The crystal, we talking about the pineal. He's this future super being who's having these abilities, who may have these abilities, is being wakened to his higher self. about to happen is this is representing what Superman is able to do with his powers and abilities. He had not yet was able to fly, but now that he's incarcerated, he's believing in the energy that's within inside him because he's being crystallized. He's locked up. He's going through this harsh conditions within itself. So he reached in from within in his bag that's within, because everything is within. He held the crystal. He made a smirk. He threw it. And watch this here. Pyramids as Superman dipped into his inner bag. You see, right by the bag, there is a white pyramid, small. You see it? I'll circle it so you can see it. And behind Superman's a pyramid. And then on the left, you see a pyramid with likened to an eye inside of it. 3 pyramids. Let's carry on. You see, he's looking up because it's been illuminated to him what is, and he's going with an innate feeling. All he sees is the luminosity in the sky and a reflection of turquoise mixed in with purple. Watch the look. Hold up. Like this part is important. Look, check it out. Now what just flickered was in Superman's third eye, a light illuminated by his forehead. Now this is the movie. How did this happen in the movie? I screenshot it so I'll be able to show you. You're going to see a snake-like orb aglow by his forehead. And he's going to blink. Then he's going to look down at the crystal. This green crystal represents the phallus. Watch as he looks down at it. And it's like it's in his hand, and he's going to be aware, and he's going to have a sneaky look on his face of the distance and the reach of his powers and abilities and what he's able to do. Watch. You see? Now look how he looks down at it, and the way he looked down at it. When the light illuminated in his forehead, glowed and showed, then he looked down at it slow and sultry like, because he's looking down at it and it's going like down to his hand as if one is holding it, liking it to one is in position for the act itself. I'm telling you, it's a cold motherfucking movie, man. And then watch what he do. See, now look at that slide look there. Now watch what's going on. Right there, you missed it. That illuminated light that was at his forehead slithered off on the angle. But I did catch it. I could screenshot it so I'll be able to show you. And now he's knowing his powers and his abilities. He's going to extend or send his energy out. That's what this represents. To the waters represent people. You heard the Bible talk about the waters, but when he lands the crystal, it's going to land in snow. And what you're going to see is something like the act itself, sex itself. And you might think that this is one with a perverted mind. No, what I'm telling you is just a cold movie that's cold. Cold talk. The crystal is going to land in the snow. It's going to seep inside. And the water is going to represent the actual act itself of the sexual act of the phallus entering to a woman in the water that's produced. And you're going to see in the water, you're going to see the crystals in the water rising up like a phallus. It's everything dealing with the phallus. That's why we have the oblique in Washington. This is why you have the Eiffel Tower. All of this is dealing with the phallus in Paris. And that means something. Listen. see if it's traveling, what he able to do. It lands and it slides in. That's the sexual act to say, look. You see this bubbling. The bubbling represents likened to a woman. You know, when a woman she's squirting, she's wet, you see the phallus slide in and out. That's the active sex itself. Then it's being formed. The formation of what he put forth. Creating he being the light. That's why you see the pyramid stayed around him. It's done. Now look. Notice how the structure is built diamond shape. Each form is like in a diamond. Each form is in formation. It's like a beautifully woven, sewn together in such a way, brought together in such a way in perfect unity, uniformation. The ice, the crystals, the cells, the icicles, the cells, the icicles represent cell. He's called to his father crystal. And watch what happens. You see, all this came from within. And within is formed from the formation of his energy within. The icicle, this ice cell, all this represents wakening oneself within. This is why you see the crystal that's showing the one in front of Superman, Clark Kent, Superman, whatever you want to call him. But it's showing the one up against on his stomach, his shirt. All this is wakening oneself up to his calling, his purpose. The ancestors, our teachers, our guides. As Beyonce said in her song, look to the stars. Black is king.
Grandson, you do not remember me. I am Jor-El. I'm your father. By now you will have reached your 18th year, as it was measured on Earth. By that.
Now, we'll take you to zoom in. But he acknowledged being Superman's father. But why did they keep showing as he speak on the right side of the screen, which be on his left side, you'll see it's like a reptile eye in the middle. Let me see if I can show you. And just pay attention in that area. Right there. So right, this is where you're going to see it at. Right here. The left eye, which is on his left side, and our right eye. So let's pay attention.
I will have been dead for many thousands of your years. The knowledge that I have matters physical and historical. I read it free on your voice.
You see? Now you see the eye. You see how it's showing? It's identifying with Clark Kent, and his father is one. So this represents his higher self, his serpent energy, or his extraterrestrial energy of being able to do the things that his father is able to do. I'm trying to show this to you so that you can see it. But the capabilities on this new phone is a little bit different. Yeah, I'm on a new one. But enlighten you to what's going on. But I want you to see this is where you're going to have to focus at on here. This area right here.
Your new home is a important matter, to be sure, but still matters of mere fact.
It's showing the eye because it's talking about the third
There are
eye.
questions to be asked.
The energy that's working within him to teach him, to put him on his path. And you see the pyramid over his father's head because the father represents the head. Look how that eye continues.
The answers together. So my son, speak. Who am I? Bonnie Colonel. You are the only survivor of the planet Krypton. Even though you've been raised as a human being, you are not one of them.
Look what's being shown. Remember I told you that eye, that reptile eye, that third eye within. This is the same eye that you seen in the grass when his father said, you here for a reason. And he got the stuttering and muttering. But on the right hand side of Superman in the grass, it showed this same slit green eye.
You have great powers, only some of which you have as yet discovered.
We're going to stop there. So you will see that what is being represented in isolation and seclusion. And this isolation, you see, you hear the word ice. The ancestor brought to my attention because it represents him being on a journey, him going up north, him seeking within, him going through the trials of the snow, the hardship, the icicles, this cell, and what formed inside of him. He's smart. He's seen what he can do, his abilities. You've seen that the light glue on his forehead that I showed you.
Okay, this is it, Max, the Daily Planet. Where's Bruce?
Now notice here that when they walk to in this movie scene, it's very important, it's key, and it's filled with details. You'll notice on the right hand side it'll show a bamboo stick, a staff, going towards the flower. The flower represents the opening of the vagina. The woman, her whole face of the area of her portal, that area represents the flower. This is why the old saying say to deflower a woman. You see the stick at the point of the flower being lifted. Next to the yellow flower, you see what looks like the lily. And you have 99. 99 is I is the ninth letter in the alphabet, right? So you have two I's. What look like one is a 9, one could possibly be a D, but in it being two eyes is saying look. The two 9s is saying look, use your eyes, look, pay attention. The watermelon represents that of the woman. You see the woman next to the man. You see the lady with the glasses on, and her eyes is giving forth that which is hidden for one to see. Next to the watermelons, you see, is the banana. The message is there because you see the banana pointed towards the bamboo stick, the rod, the staff, right by the paper bags. And it's going up to the yellow plant. From the yellow plant to the 99. All this is cold talk. Next to the watermelon, below you will see where it say net. In the Daily Planet, you don't get the word planet without ET on the end of planet, because it's saying the Daily Planet is a daily plan by ETs. It's a cold movie. Let's carry on. Up top you will see the actual watermelon is 3 sliced watermelons. You'll see the encoding of 3, 3, and 3. Let's go on. Every part is important, or you'll miss it. You see, you'll see the number 49 I did when I first did the first video of Superman. It broke down and explained the formation of 49, the incarnation, and when the embryo is reincarnated of the energy, as well as the Tibetan holy 49, and 49 equal 13. It's a holy number, 49. And you will notice 49 is coded all through the fruit, because 4 and 9 is 13. 4 and 9 is 13. And 4 and 9 is 13. And as it travel up, you will see more. The man is talking to the woman. He's trying to get her to buy the fruit. Okay. Now what's powerful with the message being given right here, because on the top right hand side you will see that the opposite watermelon is like an arrow that's pointing towards something. The last watermelon, where it has the number 49, how the number 49 is touching the pole. And you'll find what's interesting, that while this is happening, the man is holding on to the banana. All these numbers are not here by mistake. Everything that you see in the movie has been written into script, from every detailed gesture, from every hand gesture, from every head gesture. But what you will find ironic with the symbolism that I just showed you, him holding the banana representing the phallus, the flower, the watermelon represents the vajayjay, the vagina, the seeds encoded with the numbers, 3 slices, and then 3 individual watermelons. Count them. Up top you got 3 small slices. Next to the 3 small slices is 3 individual slices. And then that which is in the middle is a full face sliced watermelon, which represents the other 3, and the number 49 next to it. That's pointing to what you will see all the way on the left hand side is the daily planet, because this is what's happening daily on the planet. But again, I was telling you what's written in the script, because you're going to see something that's very off that was placed. Remember I told you what the Nelson Mandela effect, and how just going back in the time what it would do. Why would they have a woman that you're going to see gesture like this? Watch. Watch the lady right here. Next to the lady in the pink, behind her, you're going to see the man with the gray suit, and the woman behind the man in the gray suit. I'll be showing you. You're going to see that she's going to lick her lips. Now, why would the director allow her to do that? See, all that's code, all that means something. I can't say what that means. But all of this is talking about something. Because soon after she made the gesture, after decoding that was decoded with the numbers, with everything that I mentioned, she's going to cap it off by doing what she's going to do, and she's going to lick her lips. The camera's that close. He could have said, cut, I'm going to need you to keep your tongue in your mouth. I'm going to need you, because everybody else has a serious face. But watch what she do. Did you catch it? Let's go back again. There she go. Did you see her? One more time again. This lady right here on the right hand side, she licked her lips, she stuck her tongue out. While everybody else is normal, she licked her tongue out right when they show the Daily Planet, where you will see everything that they had with 49 showed 4 and 9, 4 and 9 equal 13, equal 13. And you will see the encoding of 13, 5. Because up top you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But look like 5 individual pyramids or 5 X's at the Daily Planet. The encoding of 513. This is important because a lot of y'all just missed out on what happened and what's about to happen. I'm going to rewind it for you. And I'm going to see if many of y'all catch what's about to transpire. And then I'm going to bring it all to light to you and for you. Because all of y'all missed it. Start from the beginning. Let's back up a little.
Stories.
A good reporter doesn't get great stories, Jimmy.
A good reporter
Makes them great.
Chief, here's that story on the East Side murder case. The way I see it, it's a banner headline, front page, maybe like a...
There's only one P in rapist. Lois Lane, say hello to Clark Kent. Told you one P.
Who caught that? Come on, y'all. I know y'all been paying attention. Okay. When she went to the door, she knocked 3 times. And she entered. She called his name. His name was Mason. She gave him the paper that she had typed up. He pointed in and he said to her, he said, there's only one P in rapist. So what she had on her paper was an extra P, which would say the wording rapist. And then he says to say hello to Clark Kent. She gestured towards Clark Kent with the Baphomet symbol, but soon afterwards saying that there's only one P in rapist. And that's code talk. Clark Kent has on a black and gray tie. Everything is about to happen is important because what you about to see, that the name rapist was the code. The paper was supposed to have said rapist, but they encoded a message that said rapist because that name rapist is encoding the name Serapis. And if you're familiar with who Serapis Soter is, Serapis is spelled S-E-R-A-P-I-S. The Apis, which makes the bull, and the Osiris came together to form, which is a god, Serapis, a Greek god. Also called Serapis, is Greco-Egyptian deity of the sun, first encountered at Memphis. Remember, Clark Kent represents the sun. All this is talking about how Clark Kent is representing is the future Messiah. Because the worshippers of Serapis Soteris are called Christians. Don't take my word for researchers. And the sign that makes Serapis sign is the cup over the head. Now what you're going to see Lois Lane talking to Mason, and her head is going to be always up under the golden cup to identify the connection to Clark Kent, because she get to talking to Mason about sex and what ultimately to happen next. Filling you in so you can pay attention to the details, because This is a deep ass and it's a cold motherfucking movie.
Remember my dynamite expose on the sex and drug lords? Remember the...
How you doing? Jimmy Olsen, photographer. Oh, hi. Okay, nice to meet you.
It's got everything. It's got sex, it's got violence, it's got...
She say sex and what? Now look, what do you see over her head? You see the cup. The image of Serapis is the cup over the head. There's that cup over her head. You see there's a gold and there's a silver. The distinction between gold represents God. Silver represents goddess. Silver is a color for light. Gold is more so for God. It's a masculine gender, but it's also duality, is a connection. So it was no mistake that her paperwork was written and said, instead of saying R-A-P-I-S-T, rapist, it said R-A-P-P-I-S-T and said rapist. And the image of Serapis is the cup over the head that you see now. And that spelling is S-E-R-A-P-I-S. Rapist instead of rapist, and Serapis. They placed the code there. Now, why do you think they placed something like that in an old movie about something that's futuristic, about something, somebody, or who is to come? It's a cold motherfucking movie. It's about to get even more deep. Pay attention.
Angle, I mean,
Yeah, so is a lady wrestler with a foreign accent. Jen, can you open this? Oh, sure.
Now, check that out. Now, when she was talking about sex, and the image of Serapis, the image of the cup over her head, he's reaching in his pants like he's reaching for this phallus. And it's green. And then he asks who to open it. He reaching in his pants and pull out that green thing again. Remember? What did Superman have that he thrown, that he flew? I told you that represents the phallus. And Mason giving him the bottle that Superman has to open up. Watch.
This could be the basis for a whole series of articles, Making Sense of Senseless Killings by Lois Lane. I mean, we get psychologists, we get...
Now, what you about to see is a sex act right now. Now, watch what she do. She has, again, right there, you see the image of the cup over the head. She knocked on the door 3 times. She's already in the club. This is code talk. She took that which represents the phallus, and she's going to engage it 3 times on the table by her vagina. She's going to tap it 3 times between her legs. She's going to tap it, bow, bow, bow. And the gesture is going to go between her legs where her vagina is. And then she's going to give it to Clark Kent. I'm prepping you. She's going to give it to Clark Kent, and Clark Kent going to grab it, and he's going to take it to his penis. And he's going to angle it. Sex act. You see that?
Lois, you're pushing a bunch of rinky-dink tabloid garbage.
Now, he's holding it because this is sex act. He's got it right where his penis is, the phallus. She wrapped it 3 times. Bam, bam, bam. You seen it? Watch the movie. And now her head is positioned like into the bull. Now you have the gold horn and the silver horn. It's a connection. You see the number 333 right next to Clark Kent. 3 doors up top, 3 doors in the middle, 3 doors up under it. Now watch what happened. I'm telling you, this is a cold movie. Listen, watch.
The Daily Planet has a description. I'm sorry.
Look. The sexual act. Now, what she's going to do is she's going to stroke his penis 3 times. Why would they play something like that in the movie? Watch what she do.
Gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it up like...
She's touching. She stroked his midsection, his penis 3 times. Rewind that for you. Pay attention.
Garbage.
Wait,
the
watch
Daily
what she
Planet
do.
garbage.
Watch what she
The
do.
Daily Planet has a...
This could be the basis for a whole series of articles,
Look.
Making Sense of Senseless Killings
3
by
times she
Lois
gonna wrap it.
Lane. I mean, we get psychologists,
Right
we get...
between her legs. See that?
Lois, you're pushing a bunch of rinky-dink tabloid garbage. The Daily Planet has a description. I'm sorry.
Watch her
Gosh, I'm
touch.
sorry. I didn't mean to take it up.
See? I had screenshotted. She touched his phallus 3 times. He's holding that green bottle again, likened to the green crystal that he threw when he was in the North Pole, remember? Well, north, and north represents pole. We identify with what that is, and she's looking at it, because all of this is a sex act.
Oh, well, of course not, Lois. I mean, why would I?
That the number 49 there is shown in details. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and it's encoding the number 49 and 99. As we turn over, you see that word planet, but on the end of planet is ET. Above is the slices of oranges I was telling you, the watermelon I was telling you about. 3 of 3. 3 here. See it? Then you have 3 there. And then you have the direction that it's facing. This one is facing, if I can show you, the one up top is facing let me change the color for you. Alright, this one right here. This one right here is facing towards what looks like a phallus with the number 49. And again, 49 is here, here, all through there. 13, 13, and 13. Why is that? Because we're talking about the 13th son, and it's encoding. Alright? And if you see the man holding a banana, so we stroll over. Remember I told you the 13? Well, the watermelon that formed the phallus is pointing in the direction to the daily planet. What's on the side of the daily planet? You'll notice. What's on the side of the daily planet? You'll notice that it has what appears to be pyramids up top. It's going to make this a little bit bigger for y'all so we can wipe this out the way. So what you see is on top of the daily planet is pyramids. Yeah. 1 pyramid, 2 pyramid, 3 pyramid, 4 pyramid, and 5. 5, and then the 13 showing, which is showing 513. Now I did catch you, but I told you the lady licked her lips, and soon afterwards all the sexual acts happened. Alright, let's get up out of here. Let me show you something else. Okay, y'all. Now this is where I was telling you the lady who walked by when the man was on the session stand or whatnot was selling the fruits, and I was explaining to you what all that meant. Well, here is the lady right here. You see her, she's sliding her tongue out of her mouth right here. She looked like that she may not even belong in this scene. It's like maybe she time traveled to give this message, because in the movie you don't see no one gesturing or showing any facial expression. She walked by when the man is like, hey baby, and talking to another lady, she licks her lips or sticks her tongue out of her mouth right here. I want y'all to watch the movie for yourself, and then you will see right here she sticks her tongue out. So it's no mistake that happened, but it's to show something. Why would she stick her tongue out her mouth at a time in which they showed them going into the building and everything else transpired? I'm telling you, all this means something. It's coded. So what happens next? We go into the movie. We'll see in the movie that I had told you that when Superman was holding the crystal, he was focusing, he was meditating. And I'm finna show you the image. Let's go back. This is when he turned. This is when he was looking at the green crystal. And it was so ironic that Mason reached in his pocket, which represented the phallus, and he pulled out like he was reaching to grab it, to find it. And he pulled out a green bottle that he had in his pocket. All that means something's coded. But here go. Look at that. Right when he do that, right at his third eye, you have to take your time and pay attention because it details here in plain sight. And right when this his third eye, his forehead illuminated, and this serpent-like snake that you see on the pharaoh slithered up on his forehead, he blinked a couple times. Then he ran his eyes down over the crystal, like mesmerized by it or examining it in a way of knowing what he had to do with a sly look. And then soon afterwards he do that. He looks at it. Once he blinks, he looks at it, and then he takes his eye all the way down to the length of it, to the shaft of it. Then he swivels. And that same energy like serpent glow, you see it over the side of his head in the movie. You gotta pay attention, and you will see this light of a horn showing on Superman's head. Why would that be there? It's in a movie. Watch it. And then he cast off on it. And then we go on. But I wanted to show you something. Remember I told you that when Superman, earlier, I told you that when he came inside of the prison, to me, represent prism. Prism represent light. And you will notice that he looked in the sky, and everything that he's seen was dealing with light, the transformation. The three represent past, present, and future. But why is it that this scene in the movie represent a hero? Now remember, hero means Heru. Why would they encode things like, if you didn't see it, let me show you. Why would they encode things like 3 pyramids? Alright, here go one. It's 1 pyramid. Then you got 2 pyramids. Then you have 3 pyramids around this boy who reaching in his backpack. All this means something because it represents him being incarcerated, tapping into himself, reaching within, going within. That backpack is likened to that which he has inside of him, the DNA that's packed inside of him, that he's going to release, that he's going to cause to come forth, as the books say. Very powerful. So we're going to get up out of there, and we're going to call on this mirror when his father was talking. Now mind you, it said that the Father and the Son is one. So the Father said that he would live through his Son, and his life would be in his Son, and his energy he already gave to his Son. But why would they slip this reptile-like eye? Why would they slip this eye in it? Let me show you if you don't see it. Here we go. Clean this up for you. While the Father was talking, it's zooming in, it's paying attention to, it's revealing the eye. This eye right here. Because the Father eye, the other eye is there. That's the eye. This the nose right there. That's the nose, right? That's the nose. And it's the mouth. So what do you see was just shown in this area right here. That's a serpent eye, nose, and mouth. Yeah. And he's talking all along in printing. And then while the Father was talking, you're going to see a pyramid over his head. Tell you, man, it's a cold movie. I don't want to give it all away. they're going to leave a lot more for y'all to digest. And there's so much more coming. Because what you think was a movie that's based about Superman is dealing with a Christ-like guy. Man started off as a boy, became a man who tapped into himself. He became a hero, a Heru. And it's futuristic because, remember, the daily planet. Daily and planet is a plan, and ET is a ET plan. Yeah, it's a cold movie. Stay tuned for more on the Superman mysteries.
Interesting aspects of pineal development also is that it appears in the human embryo at around 49 days of gestation. And 49 days is also the time that the Tibetans believe is required for one soul to incarnate onto the next. So that was a pretty interesting coincidence. At the time of the differentiation of the fetus into either male or female, that also occurs at that 49 day period.